Well, here we are back in Mittenrahm, in Morel still. I think we've done 5 and 6 weeks. I'm obviously in front of the spellbook, which was finished. I haven't made any changes here yet. I do still debate split curving this out the other way or shifting it over or whatever, just to add a little bit more web here so that it can be seen either side. I don't feel like it's quite conveying what I originally conceived in its current form, but I believe none of this was here. I've added this since. Some candles, some decorative stuff really, a couple of bits of mushroom. I don't think this guy was here. Well, he was here, but he hasn't left. He's never teleported off of this location, and now I've named him so he can't actually despawn. Yeah, I don't know whether he's just unable to teleport because all of the valid locations are water, or what. I don't know. He hasn't moved. It's very strange. All of the forest is done now. The main, like, all of the big tree changes that I wanted have been done. I don't think this was on the stream last time. Obviously 2 trees intertwined. I've used this in a couple of locations through the forest to spore blossom, just to give it a little bit of an ethereal feel. Mostly around this place. I think I mentioned this last week. There is something slightly surreal about this location, and I feel like the spores add to it. Perhaps it would have been nicer to be able to hide them a little more. But done this little mining hut. There's still stuff that could be done here, but I don't really know what. So yeah, as you can see, I could carry the water through in this direction. I was thinking about connecting it to this, but it didn't really make much sense. Because you've got 2 neighbouring, 1 water source feeding 2 lakes, which doesn't happen in real life, I don't think. The border over here involved making these smaller trees with less oomph to them, as well as raising up just a few of the smaller trees, make them a little bit taller, mostly so that the ground looks more clear. You can walk through without having the canopy just directly overhead. I've put in a broken path. I kind of decided that I didn't want a obvious open way to the actual Witch Haven. No. I wonder what happened there. I must have accidentally destroyed a block. Unless an Enderman pinched one of the gravel. So, yeah. I put this in. Winds all the way back to this way. Finally just did a little bit of terraforming. Brought this around. Not sure I'm going to do anything here. I probably should. But you know, it's very simple stuff. Just building a world, really, I suppose. There's more to be done over there. I haven't quite decided on what I want. So these are... I'm not sure. I think maybe the remains of a volcano that's collapsed in after exploding. I think I may have tried to imply this by putting in some of the obsidian. I may work on that concept. Maybe put in a dome so that it can be more obvious. Thought about connecting the spires with the remains, additional remains, but I could just as easily put some stone underneath, put some smaller shards poking up. They're not finished. I think they need a little bit of bulking out, maybe. Not too sure. So, this is all planted. While I was working in the local area, still I planted a whole bunch of them, just let them naturally grow, except for a few that were stubborn, so I just used some bone meal. I intend using dirt, coarse dirt and rooted dirt to close in some of these gaps. I won't get rid of all of the grass. There'll be some stones, stuff that you usually find in the Mega Tiger. I've already done a tiny bit there. And then I'll be adding, I think, at least the red mushrooms. I'm not sure about putting in brown ones. I'll have to see. I think this maybe ought to be white. I don't know. It feels maybe too big now. I'll have to see how it goes. I'll be doing this later, but I've been doing a lot of terraforming and I need to do something that isn't building a landscape. One of the last actual structures that I put up is over here. This is a threatened build that was supposed to go over there, but decided that it was going to fit over here a little better. It came out fairly well. I'm not entirely convinced it looks like a carrot at first glance, despite the carrot top. I think maybe these ones maybe shouldn't be there. It's hard to see. I'm not sure what to do about it if I don't put them there, because these are visible from the inside, so I don't really have much choice. Obviously been transforming existing swamp trees into something a little bit more grand, and then took a shot at these mushrooms, which I'm not happy with. There's 5 or 6 of them now, and I'm not really happy with any of them. I've decided one of the problems is that they are a little too uniform. So this one's been given some misshaping, which I think may help. It took forever to settle on the red as the, you see there's been an awful lot of terraforming, putting in these little mounds. And obviously, I'm not sure what state this was in last time I was streaming. I'm not even sure if it was here yet. Maybe in the beginnings of it. It's not gone too badly. I think I shouldn't have bothered with the vines. Certainly not on these fallen ones. You can't control the vine growth without, you know, just using things like string to stop it from growing. And I feel like they're just a little bit too out of control. But it's not horrible. I think this is the end of it as well. I won't be doing any more of this stuff, not in this half anyway. I'm actually nearly done with this piece of terraforming. It's these 3 mushrooms, or whatever tweaks I make to those mushrooms, transforming these two, and maybe a couple of these, and then that'll be done. I think I might put down some bushes, fake bushes and stonework all around just to make the land uneven. I saw this in I'm not sure what the terrain generation mod is. I've seen it used on some servers. Just sticking in like they have like a swamp land that's much like a British moor, very kind of flat but also very uneven on the smaller scale. Oh, I thought I grabbed a stone. So yeah, I might do things like this and then just like, you know, pockets of soil. And just go up and down like that. Maybe do some that are below ground and just fill them with water. Is there anything? I don't think so. I don't know if I can dig through in any way. Yeah, it's going to be far too much. Although, we do have this over here. I wonder. Where would it go? Underneath. This way, this way, this way, almost straight on. You know, that's tempting. It really is. Huh. This is supposed to be a road coming all the way over from Cantor. Yeah, I think I decided against this one because it was a pain to actually bring down. Although it looks like it really ought to have a road that will connect across here. I think that was actually part of the plan at one point. Just put a bridge in across one of the narrow parts because there's no way over here otherwise. But this is well in ahead. This is like going to be 2 or 3 weeks before I get to doing any of this. I want to revisit this place as well. But I think today I'm going to start on what this is marking. Hopefully. And on that mysterious note, I shall say adieu.